friends on YouTube and members of the ForecastEDGE trading community. Matthew here. Today we are going to be going and creating our own support and resistance levels and using them to execute a trade using the predictive market contracts on the Kalshi trading platform. So with that being said, let's jump right in. So right now we have a Bitcoin USD loaded on a 2-minute chart. The first thing we're going to do is go from a micro environment to a macro environment. And what I mean by that is micro, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, to macro, a day, a week, a month, a year, those types of charts. That's where we're going to go first to find some of these levels that we will take our trade on today. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to make a horizontal line at each wick high and wick low for every candle on the chart in front of us. And right now, each candle you're seeing is representing 12 months, 1 full year. And what we're doing is we're doing the wick highs and wick lows of these candles, okay? That is the first thing we're going to do. And I'm going to go through all of them for sake of good practice. Okay, you're going to do all wick highs and wick lows on the 12-month chart, right? Just like this. Here we go. And there, right? Okay, there. Here we are. Now we're going to go back and do the bodies open and close of each candle on the 12-month, right? Here we go. And if some are right on the same spot, we won't worry too much about it. And again, this is how you can use support and resistance and execute trades within minutes. I will show you by the end of this video, we will already have had executed trades and use these levels to generate profits using financial markets and financial instruments such as predictive markets, which are the new ones, Poly Market and Kalshi, Robinhood predictions, those things of those natures. But we also do option contracts, stocks, right, and future contracts. We trade all of those here at the ForecastEDGE. And again, before we continue, if you are interested in being a part of our trading community, the ForecastEDGE, all you have to do is go to our website, theforecastedge.com. Here on the right-hand side, you'll join the war room, select which plan's right for you, and then you're granted access to our edge alerts and our trading community via Substack here. And each of these thumbnails is representing another trade idea that we provide. And we give our thesis, we give the exact contracts we're trading, and the exact risk management that we are following when executing these positions. Even this one on CCL, this is our most recent one. We've already seen returns for a 53% to 75% on the contracts that we took within 4 days of being open. But back to our video. Here we are. We're going to continue to get each body open and close, wick high and low from the 12-month bars. And now we're going to break it down from 12 months to 6 months. And here we are. Now we got a couple new levels to chart, and we're going to do the same thing. Now notice, now that I'm on the 6-month, I will change this from gray to, let's do blue, okay? Now we know that we're creating a key. This big silver ones, right, are going to be from the 12-month chart. These blue ones here are going to be from the 6-month chart, right? And that is where we are going to be able to create these levels. Now, again, here's one up here. For sake of the video, we are going to do the top half here, creating a new range that we will be executing our trade within. Now from 6 months, we'll go to exactly 2 months, 4 months, however you want. I like to go to 2 months. Here we go. Now we're going to start seeing some good stuff. Here are some levels for us. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Look at this one. And this one. Okay, and the blue, so these from 2 months, we're going to keep blue too, but I want to keep this one a whole different color because this is where I think that we are going to be taking our trade surrounding that level right there. $72,019. It's trading at $71,373 right now. Okay, so now let's jump into a weekly chart, okay? Because now it's going to show us some different intraday levels that we can start taking in just a moment here. And all I'm doing is I'm just I'm capturing and making these lines of interest, points of interest at wick highs, wick lows, and body opens and closes of macro environments, days, weeks, months, years, right? And then we will trade them, and even in this video, we're going to trade them in the micro environments. 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, all the way down to the second. Depends how you're going to trade. We'll be trading probably within a 2-minute time frame is what I like to trade in. So let's jump in now and get some of these levels. So here's a good one right here, right? And what we're going to do now is make these skinny and dotted, and we'll make them white, okay? Because now these aren't going to be yearly charts. This is a weekly chart, okay? And it's going to provide short-term levels for us here. Let's see what we got. Anything good here? There's one. Yep. And you see how I'm finding the wicks back here? That's how I'm coming up with these levels here. Okay? I'll give you one up here. And then here are your supports. Look at the setup. I like the way that these candles are forming. Nice doji candle here. Maybe an extension back up. Let's see. We will see. Now, we went from 12-month, 6-month, 2-month, 2-week. Now let's go to a 4-hour. Okay, here we go. Here are your intraday. Now we are in a micro environment. Here are intraday. And how we're going to do this one, we'll make these ones back to 2. We'll make them yellow. We'll make them straight. Okay, and now I know that it might look like, why are there so many different things? But we know by color and by cadence what these lines are telling us and what the levels and what they come from. I know that this right here, this gray one, is from a 12-month. I know that this right here, these blue ones, is going to be from a 6-month or a 2-month. And then I know that these little white checkered ones are going to be from the weekly. Okay, that's how you create your own key. It's one way to do it. Everybody's different. Every trader is unique, in the best edge that you have as your trader, and no pun intended being Matthew from the Forecast Edge, but the best edge you have is being yourself. Nobody else is you. So the way that you think is very unique, and only you think as you do. So that's your greatest edge in trading, in my opinion. If someone were to ask me, the greatest edge any person has in trading is that they are their own, they are them. Nobody else thinks like them. Nobody else will react like them. A trader is who the trader is, okay? And all of you can do it. It all comes down to the proper risk management and discipline. Be patient, be positive, be disciplined, and you will be profitable and be able to make money using these financial instruments in these financial markets. Now, let's jump in and collect some of these real quick, right? So I see one, and these are going to be from the 4-hour charts. I'm getting wick highs here, right? Because look, this is like a real heavy area of congestion here. You see, the first time it came back up, it got kicked back. The second time, it kind of blew through it and came back down. We'll get this. We'll get this, right? Now, let's get what's going here. One here. I like that one, right? Might find a little support there, and that's going to probably be our range here. I'll give a couple for safe measure. As the day progresses, I'll see where they ended up. But for today's video, I think we have our levels. So we went from one more time, 12-month to 6-month to 2-month to 2-week to 4-hour, okay? And now we are going to jump into the 2-minute, okay? And we are going to execute our position now. Let's see, here we go. All right, so we got a lot of spots over here, and here was the level that I liked the most, that 72, remember? So let's see what we can see here. It's bounced well off of this one down here, and look, we just made these levels. Look how many times it's interacted with them today. You know, the last time it came up, it stopped right here. The first time that it went to 71,079.92 cents, you see that it got kicked back. The second time it broke through, but look, it keeps reacting to the same levels. Look how it came back up to it, and then it got dropped back. we are looking for these same things. If it's an old saying in trading, if the market did it once, if it traded there before, it will trade there again, okay? It's just a matter of time. And it's the most important part is being able to be there to trade, right? That is why you don't go full tilt. You don't let your emotions take over. Being a disciplined trader and following proper money management is all it takes to be successful in this industry, and anybody can do it, and you will do it too, okay? But here we go. I'm going to now get the Kalshi predictive market, right? We can slide this over. We'll slide it like here, right? And make it a part of our screen. And now let's jump into cryptos, right? We're going to jump into the cryptos because we just got our levels for Bitcoin. And here is Bitcoin's price today at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? As I do this, we'll get a trade table over here. So now we see, right, that Bitcoin is trading at the levels that we just created, 71,425. The closest to is 494. So we'll make this one, okay, purple, as in that is where we are. Now let's see what the contracts are. Here are the predictive market contracts. Will it be above 71,250? Yes, it says at 78 cents. No, at 23 cents. Now remember, when you're trading predictive markets, each contract trades within a limit of 0.01 cent to a full dollar. Now, this one says, will it be above 71,500 or above 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? And right now, it says above 71,500, and there's a 37 cent yes and 70 cent no, okay? This is how you follow these models, okay? You can also think of this, instead of change as 37 cents, as a 37% chance that that is going to be the case, and it will be above 71,500 or above at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with 22 minutes left in this contract. So let's show you how to execute a position. $2.05 would get me $5 back. That's a 2-to-1 trade, right? So I didn't get filled. Sometimes you won't get filled. You see, my position is still none. So if I do this again, right? $2.05. Now it's to make 7. Again, I don't get filled. Why? Because the market and probabilities are changing. Every tick that the Bitcoin's changing, as you can see, it's going to change the probabilities of one thing over the other, right? So I'm going to say, for sake of the trade here, that we want it to be $2.05, right? Let's see if we'll get filled on this. There we go. Now you see that I have yes, 5 contracts of yes at 42 cents, okay? Now, this is going to show you that I am watching here that this will be above, Bitcoin will be above this 71,494.72. And as I'm in this trade at an average price of 42 cents, I'm watching my average price here. So it's at 23 cents, 25 cents. That's how you watch these predictive market contracts. And that's how that's what these trades are based off of. Okay. And again, mind you, there's still on just these contracts, there is 21 minutes remaining until this contract expires, and then these ones will roll over to the next predictive market contract in the next hour. So instead of 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, they will become 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can watch as this price fluctuates, and it will do as it will, and we can watch that the levels that we made. Look, it looks like it's reacted with this 71,494, right? And we need it to be right about here. I'll give you this real quick. Okay. And we'll make this a big one, because that's where it has to be. That's where it's going to end up having to be, right? Just about this 500 for our contracts to be paid off, right? And let's see if I can add $1.15. Okay. Perhaps you can. There we go. See, now instead of having 5 contracts at 40 cents, I'm in 8 contracts at an average price of 36 cents. You see how that works? Okay, let's see how these candles play out for us. And again, when you're using the Kalshi trading platform, this is your trade table. This is where you execute your positions. And whether you're buying yes or buying no to get into these contracts, you are going to be on the buy side of the trade table. Okay, there's the buy side here and the sell side here. Okay. Simple. So it looks like this one is starting to go against us. We review, we submit. This time I've gotten out of all the contracts that I've gotten into. Now that you see sell, there is none. I had 8 contracts. I had first 5 contracts at an average price of 40 cents, right? Then I had 8 contracts at an average price of about 36, 37 cents, right? And we've covered the position for a small loss. As you can see, $1.57 out of the $4 that we put up. Again, while now that we are using these levels, we can still gauge. We can take another trade. I'm just showing how efficient it is with this trade table to get in and get out of these positions in a matter of moments. Okay, so let's see this. 71,250 is right here. Right? I want to see it above. We'll say no. Put $10 on this one, right? Or let's see what $12 pays us. $12.50. Beautiful. A perfect 1-to-1 here. Didn't get filled again. And you'll start seeing that, and you're probably like, well, why are you not getting filled? It's because the market, like I said, is changing. Every moment it's changing over here. Still not filled on it. But I can go here, go back to this, buying no, right? And that is going to be, excuse me. Let's see if we get hit. There we go. So now I'm in 25 contracts of no, that Bitcoin will not be above the price 71,250 or above, okay, at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And now since I bought into my no contracts, I can go to sell my no contracts on the trade table on the sell side, and you see that it loads up contracts, 25 of my no contracts for this position here, okay? And we still have about 15 minutes left on this position. So what I'm going to do is put an order of 20. So what I'm doing by putting this 20 means I'm getting out of majority of my contracts. I'll get out of 20 of them, but still have a remaining 5 contracts of no for Bitcoin's price of being above 71,250 at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm saying that I'm in no of 20 of them, or trying to get out of 20 of my 25 no contracts. Okay, that's how that would work. And again, so what is our contract now? We went from this green to 250. So what we need, right, for our nose is for it to be trading under this. And we'll make this one now like a light green for us. Okay. And dash it up. Right? So it needs to be trading under this 71,250 for us to be paid out on our contracts at an average price of 48 cents. And now it's trading at an average price of 28 cents, which is saying there's still about a 28% chance that that is the outcome. Okay? And we'll wait patient. We'll wait with our patience. Pack your patience, right? 15 minutes left. Okay? And again, as time goes on, that's how these things end up playing themselves out, okay? Mhm. And as you can see on this left-hand side, when you're under the chart here, there are a ton of contracts to choose from. It just says it goes to actual probability. That's what prediction markets come down to, is that they all settle on the idea that this is the outcome. And again, if you're ever in a position that you'd like to see exactly what qualifies for your payouts and for you to be making profits on these positions, it's right here. Under the contracts are the full rules that you have to. This is what has to happen in order for your contracts to be filled at this price, you know? So again, now you see we were filled at 48 cents. It's trading at 74 cents. So let's say I want to get in, right? to another 5 of this contract at an average price of 26 cents. You'll see now it didn't fill. Still in my original 25, but that's okay. I wait here. I'm sitting on my 20, and we're watching. We still have 15 minutes left on this contract. Okay. Seeing if we could buy any more. Let's see. We're still in our original. There we go. There you go. So now I'm in 82 of them at an average price of 37 cents. Okay. Now I'm going to my sell, right? And out of my 82, we wait for the position to go, right? So with that being said, say I want to get out of majority of them, I just sell 70 of them and submit them, okay? Well, I want 70 of them. So remember, make sure we're on the sell side of the table. Here's my 81 contracts. And once it starts going and trailing, because we might even see this level now. We might see the 71,077 and 80 cents. Okay? And you'll see the price fluctuate. As it's fluctuating and changing, the probabilities are changing. See, now it's in our favor a little bit here. And say I want to get out a majority of them, so I'll get out of 70 when it starts really going in our favor. Right? There you go. Submitting mine. Got out of those. I have 11 left, right? Get out of 6 more of them. Right? Get out of 6 more of my contracts, or even just that's fine. Cover the rest of them. Ins and outs, right? And now as I go to sell, my position has become none. And look, what we did was switched from our over 71,500 was the first one. We took yes, right? And it will show you right here. So on our first one, we were down $1.57. On our second one, we made $6.02. Okay. Now, this is another way to look at it. You go to your portfolio, right, and history. And this is the way I like to think about it, right? Is that you see these in the percentages off of our investment, 51%, 19%. Think of it like that. These are washed out for the purpose of the video, and these were ins and outs, but it was just showing you how quickly you can make support and resistance levels and then use them in predictive markets, futures contracts, and options contracts, all those things. Using charts is a very powerful and essential part of a good trader's day-to-day routine. Check the chart, see what it's doing, see what it's telling you, and then based off of the data that we have collected, we will then execute positions. And that's what's taking the randomness out of our trading and building our confidence. So when we take trades, we take them with confidence and we manage them properly, where we don't have to be we don't have to be super micromanaging. We just follow a simple rules of engagement in our discipline, and that is how we will and have become profitable traders, because of the basics of discipline and money management. Always be able to tell yourself, okay, it's time to take profit. It's time to take profit. When it's when it's telling you that it's time to take our loss and take our stops, then take your stops and take the loss. It's really okay. It all comes back to proper management. Okay, my friends. And again, if you are interested in becoming a part of our trading community here at the Forecast Edge, all you have to do is go to our website, theforecastedge.com, and that is where on the right hand side you'll see join the war room. You'll select which plan's right for you, and then you are granted access to our Edge Alerts via our Substack and Beehive, okay? And I know that the year's just starting, but it even says right here, we are up 261% on our trading account for the Forecast Edge plays, okay? And we've even just 8 days ago, every thumbnail you see on this is another trade idea that we provide. And again, we give you the thesis, we give the exact contracts, we give the exact risk management we're following. Don't just predict profit. Please like and subscribe, comment some trade ideas, anything that you guys can do and or want us to do to help you guys become better traders and the traders that you want to be, we will do. So don't just predict profit, and we'll see you in the next one.